Good afternoon. It's a perfect day. My mom was complaining about how it's cold. It's 64. If you're out here working, it ain't cold. I just cut some grass next door. It was a lot higher than I thought. That yard grows really evenly, so it doesn't give the shaggy appearance. But that's done, trimmed, clippings blown around, looks great. The other three are almost there, and there's no huge rainstorms coming up, so I think I'm just going to do one a day here for a couple days, not push it too hard. The new neighbors are moved in. They apparently called the house phone and left a message. I have to go listen to that. I have to give my cell phone number. But Tom called from Lyric. Good news and bad. I'm gonna head in there today and I'll give you the update then. I also might clean up the 330 since it's garaged anyways, but there's no crap weather coming in quantity, and it's kind of nasty all around.
What's the sticker on the back of this?
Hey Kenan.
Hey Ryan.
This is for the vlog. This is an Astoral E36 M3. That's an M54, I think, not an S54.
Yeah, I believe it.
This is next door. There's a E53 and possibly Toledo.
It's much quieter over here.
It is much
We
quieter.
don't have heavy death metal.
Yep. Here's the graveyard, waiting for people to come pick them up. The graveyard. My car's in here. And an M3. This M3 is been used.
The interior came out to be original. I would think it's got
It's a New Jersey car, so it's been exposed to some degree of sun.
See, this was the era of BMW, and they're like, how do we make it fast? I'll just put the racing engine in it. There's a proper racing engine in it.
Spark plugs, throttle bodies, headers down there. BMW Schwarz. Schwarz 1, black.
That's what Schwartz means, man.
Yes. Oh, it's got some real beefy hood struts.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe it has that many miles on it. I would call them now just in case there's something that expires.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it now. So,
What do you call them?
yeah, I'm gonna start pricing now. I bet.
It's got new rotors in the back. It's got that going for it.
Stock exhaust in the M5 was small. No offense, Steven.
Poor thing. Stopped in at Lyric Motorsport, got an update. I will fill you in here in a moment. I got back here and went back to work on the 3. Got all the glass cleaned outside. It was disgusting. There were ever a time when I could shut this car door and not have to do it twice. It is the hardest motion required to shut these doors. Did the glass, moved on to the body. I really should have washed it. You guys should see the towel I used here somewhere. I was just taking off. Is this even it? It's just dark brown, nasty road dirt. Looks way better. Then I went under the wheels. Wheels need to do what I did last year. They're turning yellow and pitting, and if I take them off and rub them really hard with wax, it comes out. I don't have the time and patience for this. Two cars is too much to maintain, especially when they're both like this. This is the best one on the car. It doesn't really need much back here. Actually dressed the tires for the second time ever on this car, so that looks way nicer. Then I cleaned the floor mats, vacuumed the carpets, wiped down the dash and the seats and the steering wheel. All of that was nasty, so I'm not too embarrassed to drive it anymore. There's all these hard water spots or something that are visible on the flat surfaces. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. It's better. It took like 2 hours. I didn't even touch the exhaust tips there, but whatever. Moving on to the Lyric Motorsport update. So the new pressure plate came in yesterday at some point. Today, to save, I don't know who was going to eat the cost of the new pressure plate, probably Tom. Didn't want to do that. So Tom took the time to fabricate a tool himself that would reset the self-adjusting clutch. Said it wasn't hard. He had to use a piece of cardboard as a bearing for the tool, but he was able to reset the one himself without, since all 5 or 6 BMW dealerships around here just have no idea where they put the tool. So he was able to reset the old one, and then they sent back the new one. And by old one, I mean the one that I bought 2 months ago that has never been used, not the original one. So the transmission's back in the car, finally. That only took 10 days to get a transmission in. Freaking dealerships. Transmission's in, and now on to the next problem, which are the exhaust gaskets. There's 6, 4 of one kind, 2 of another kind. In the ECS kit, specifically for the E39 M5, they just give you 6 of the one kind. So now we have to wait for the other 4 to arrive, which will be Friday. They have no idea when on Friday. ECS says 9 days for these things, so they're not available anywhere. No exhaust shops don't stock E39 M5 exhaust things. People are trying to tell me that like it's some part that they just stock. So now Friday, it could be late in the day Friday, so I'm not expecting to have the car back till probably the end of next week now, which puts us almost a month behind schedule. It sucks. I don't think we'll be making Timmy Fest this year. I mean, it would have to be a miracle. This engine would have to start and run beautifully with no check engine codes. The part would have to get in there early Friday, and then I'll drive it 100 miles a day for 2 weeks. And that's very unlikely. So that's where we stand. Should have it back next week, by the end of next week. Barring the next huge problem, you know, who knows? They'll get the exhaust on, and then there'll be something else that will blow up in their face and require another week of waiting for parts and other people that we can't control. So that's where we stand. But they've got everything else in. The transmission's in, the drive shaft's in, the exhaust is all hanging there, ready to be bolted up. We just don't have the right gaskets for it. They can't start the engine until they get the exhaust on because it would be too loud and they want to listen to the engine for problems. Very logical. Yeah, I'm starving now. I've barely eaten anything all day, so I'm gonna take my freshly cleaned 3 and go get food somewhere. So I ended up going and getting gas in the 330. It was about down to a quarter tank or something like that. I filled that up. Boy, is it nice driving a clean car again. It's been quite a while. I was very used to the, you know, the wipers don't hit all of the windshield. It leaves a corner here and it leaves a line on the other side, and the driver's window is hazy. And having all of the glass clean, even just the glass, made driving feel so much more better. And the car looks more shiny, and it's fantastic. And boy, you can really see how small this thing is compared to the M5. There's so much room in here when I pull it all the way up. So anyways, it's nice to drive a clean car again. A little disappointing that's that ECS sent the wrong exhaust gaskets. As I've said a million times, it is what it is. We'll deal with it. The parts come in Friday. We just don't know when Friday. So I'm hoping to have the car back on Wednesday. That's providing the engine starts, runs, doesn't produce check engine codes, and it's been a successful build. I have faith in Bill and the guys at Lyric Motorsport, and I really think it's going to pull through. And we're going to find out sometime between Friday and Monday, all depending on when those gaskets arrive. Really, when they do, it's just a matter of putting them in place and screwing the exhaust in. There's 4, 8, there's about 14 to 18 bolts that hold the exhaust in. We're only looking at about 30 minutes to put the exhaust in. Then it's time to turn the key, see how things run, do the initial bed in of the clutch and the engine just to get things running, have it aligned, do some paperwork, and hand the keys back to me. So I'm excited about that. Sometime between Friday and next Wednesday, depending on when everything arrives and how everything goes. So that's the update with that, as I've kind of talked about all day. I watched the Golden State Warriors play the Oklahoma City Thunder at home, even the series out 1-1. So now 2 games in Oklahoma. Hopefully Oklahoma can can take one of those and drag the series out at least to 6 games. Tomorrow, Cleveland will play Toronto. These are the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference finals. The winner of each of these series will go to the NBA Finals. If it's Cleveland, Golden State, Cleveland, Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Toronto, or Golden State, Toronto, those are the 4 possible outcomes. I would put my money on Cleveland, Golden State, and seeing a rematch of last year, this time with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving as functional players. But certainly the Warriors have improved from last season, setting an NBA record 73 or 74 wins this year. Unbelievable, beating the 95-96 Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, and I don't know if that was Scottie Pippen or whoever he was playing with back then. But man, it's been a hell of a season for them. But also the Cavaliers, top seed in the East, not their franchise record. I think they had a 60-win season a couple years ago. This year was 56 or 57. But it's 1:30. I'm going to get to bed. I've got a couple of emails that are sitting there waiting for my response. I have to contact the neighbor across the street, let him know I'll start mowing again. Tomorrow I don't have a lot on my plate. I say that now, but I'm sure tomorrow will be a very busy day. I'm going to try to mow 1 yard if it's mine or one of those across the street. I don't know which one yet. I'll do that. Of course, I'll watch some NBA basketball tomorrow night, Cleveland-Toronto, Game 2 in Cleveland. And maybe I'll find some more housework to do. Really, all of the screens are in, the windows are done, the spouting's done. The landscaping is largely de-leafed, not to my standards of last year, so I may work on that a little bit. I think we're going to mulch later this year, since photos of the house for when it goes for sale will probably be taken in July or August, so I'm not super excited about getting it done in May and then having it not look as fresh and perfect in July or August, so I may do that later in the summer. But I think tomorrow's supposed to be a decent day, so I could even get away with going to the pool, where I have not been in quite a while, and the outdoor pool is likely not open yet, but I could go inside and get some swim time in. So we'll see. I'll come up with something to do tomorrow. I'm going to bed. I'm going to knock those emails out. I'm going to sleep a whole bunch, get up tomorrow and figure out what to do, and I'll let you guys know that. Good night.